Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. In this one, I'm going to be doing a best class setup and a weapon guide for the AUG submachine gun here in Modern Warfare. So of course guys, welcome back to a brand new best class setup as well as weapon guide here on the channel. Now come to think of it, it's been quite a little while since I made a sit down weapon guide video like the one that you're watching right now. And because of that reason, in 2020, I want to bring back the sit down weapon guides now. If you guys remember back to Black Ops 4, especially when the game first released, I used to do a lot of these sit down weapon guides where I talk for the first half of the video, then move over to a live commentary, and I really want to bring that back because overall I really enjoyed making those videos and you guys really seem to enjoy them. So yeah, that's what I am going to be bringing back those videos here on the channel, and this one in essence is going to be the inaugural episode. Now for this one, I'm not going to be doing a live commentary, however for my future episodes, like the older videos I made, I do plan on having a commentary at the beginning of the video, then switching over to a live commentary. So yeah, I'm really excited to bring back this series. However, nonetheless, for the first episode, I will be tackling the AUG submachine gun. Now that's the thing, in Modern Warfare, the AUG submachine gun is easily one of the most beloved submachine guns and overall weapons in this game, with a lot of people praising it and some even saying that the AUG is the best weapon in Modern Warfare. And I must admit, for quite a little while, I never really used the AUG, being that the only time that I ever really used the weapon was back during the beta as well as the really early stages of Modern Warfare. However, since of course I am going for platinum camo on my submachine guns, it means I have to use every single SMG in the game, and since a lot of people were talking about the AUG and saying how good the weapon is, I wanted to check it out. So that's what come a couple days ago, I started using the AUG, and I must say, this weapon is absolutely insane. To put into some perspective how much I use the weapon, on Saturday when I started using it, I only had the weapon ranked up to roughly level 10. However, as of yesterday, I got the AUG all the way up to the max rank as well as I unlocked gold camo on it. So I must say, without a doubt, the AUG submachine gun is a fantastic weapon in this game, and I personally enjoy using it quite a bit. And since the Shipment 24/7 playlist is now live in Modern Warfare, I thought it'd only be appropriate to do a best class setup on it. So with that said, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like on it down below, as well as make sure to subscribe for more Modern Warfare content. So yeah, now that I got the intro out of the way, let's actually dive right into the commentary. And alright, so of course what I am going to be covering in today's video is I am going to be starting off by discussing the AUG submachine gun, then I will be moving over to a really awesome class setup that I designed for the weapon, and then of course before I end off the video, I am going to be talking about a couple things that you want to know about this class setup before you go ahead and use it. So of course to start off, let's talk a little bit about the AUG submachine gun. Interestingly enough, the AUG is one of the first submachine guns that you unlock in the game. Even though the AUG is a submachine gun, in a lot of cases the weapon acts more like an assault rifle than an actual submachine gun, being that the damage on the weapon is quite high, especially if you compare it to other SMGs, as well as the fire rate is a little bit slower and the recoil is extremely low. On a side note, interestingly enough, depending on the attachments that you run on the weapon, you can turn it into both an assault rifle as well as a light machine gun, so keep that in mind. And with that said, one thing that I really like about the AUG is its versatility. So it doesn't matter if you're in a short range, medium range, or long range engagement, you can perform very well when you are going to be using the AUG. And one thing that I personally like is the hip fire accuracy is quite good, so it means if you are in a very close quarter situation, you can hip fire and you can still perform very well. Now the only main drawback about the AUG is the weapon's ammo capacity. Without any attachments, the AUG only has 20 rounds of ammunition per magazine. However, depending on the attachments that you use, that can be very easily remedied, especially since interestingly enough, the AUG has an attachment that gives it 60 rounds of ammunition per magazine, which is pretty crazy, and I will get to that a little bit later in this video. So with all that said, now let's talk about the creative class I have for today's video. So of course, as you guys can see, the class setup is going to be on your screen right now. And alright, so starting from the top and doing a brief rundown, for my primary weapon, I will be using the standard variation of the AUG, as well as for my secondary, I will be using the monochromatic variation of the Desert Eagle. Now, if you don't have this particular variant, all you need to do is swap it out to the standard variant of the Desert Eagle, and you're going to be doing just fine. Now, moving over to the perk setup, I will be using Scavenger, Hardline, as well as Battle Hardened, and then for my lethal, I will be using C4, as well as my tactical is going to be Stim Shot. So now let's talk a little bit about the attachments that I will be running on my AUG. Now, as you guys can see over here, these are the attachments that I will be running. Starting from the top, I will be using the 407mm extended barrel, the GI Mini Reflex Sight, the Forged Tac CQB stock, the Staple Grip Tape, as well as the 32 round magazine. So now let's go a little bit more in depth. For my first attachment, of course, I will be using the 407mm extended barrel, which is going to be increasing the damage range, bullet velocity, as well as recoil control, only for a slight con of the aim down sight speed. For our second one, we will be using the GI mini reflex sight, and that's just because, don't get me wrong, the iron sights on the AUG are pretty good, especially if you compare it to other weapons in the game. However, if you put on the GI mini reflex sight, it's just gonna allow us to be a lot more precise when we are using this weapon, so that's how come I like to use this attachment. For our third one, we will be using the Forged Tack CQB stock, which is gonna be increasing the aim down sight speed. For our fourth one, we will be using the Stippled Grip Tape, which is gonna be increasing the aim down sight speed as well as the sprint to fire speed, only for a con of aiming stability. And of course, for our final one, we will be using the 32 round magazine, which is just simply going to be bumping up the magazine size from 20 rounds to 32, which is an extremely useful attachment on the AUG because, as I mentioned before, you tend to run out of ammunition extremely quickly when you are using this weapon. And of course, last but not least, I will be using gold camo on the AUG, which I'm not gonna lie, gold camo on the AUG looks absolutely fantastic, so that's how come, of course, we are going to be using it. So yeah guys, that's going to be it for the class setup portion of today's video. Now before I end off the commentary, I'm going to be talking about a couple things that you want to know about the class setup before you go ahead and use it. Now that's the thing, as I mentioned before, the AUG is a very consistent and versatile weapon in Modern Warfare, so no matter what your playstyle is, you can perform very well when using the AUG. Now the only piece of feedback that I have, and that's when using this weapon, make sure you keep in mind the ammo count, because the last thing that you want is to run out of ammunition when you're in the middle of a gunfight, as well as since the damage on this weapon is quite high, make sure you aim for the head, because if you do manage to get a headshot, you're going to be absolutely dropping that opponent. So yeah guys, with that said, that's going to effectively wrap up today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like on it down below, as well as make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so that way you guys will not miss a new upload from me. So before I end off the video, overall, I am going to be leaving you guys with a little bit of raw gameplay. So yeah, that's of course going to be it for this video. I hope to see you in the next one.
Falcon 301 route. Securing ground. Assist your team out. Stand by. strike in. This is our fight. Stay focused. Assist your team at B. Assist your team at B. Sourcing to resupply. Do not forget this.